So it finally happened. I finally pulled a 5-star that wasn't a weapon, and my first 5-star character is Mona, which is actually really interesting because I wasn't really looking for Mona. I really didn't have her in my sights or anything like that. I think the one that I want the most probably is Jean, but Mona is actually super fun. I've actually been enjoying playing with her today since I've pulled her, and she has some really cool stuff going on with her. So we're just gonna kind of do a little overview and look at the character a little bit. So the biggest thing here is that she is a hydro element character, which means that you can kind of pair her really well with electricity, which is kind of nice, but we'll go over that a little bit later. One of her biggest things is that she can zoom through the ground with her. Yeah, it's called torrent or something like that. It basically just replaces her sprint ability, but she can fly across the ground underneath the ground. It looks like she's moving through water. I'm sure you can see it on the screen, but she moves very fast. It's rapid movement, and it's very fun, and it's also very useful because you can not only go across land with it, but if you're starting on land and you move into the water, you can actually glide across the top of the water, which is really fun. And it's just because it's so much faster than regular sprinting, you can get where you need to go a lot faster, so it's super fun, and I don't know, it's just really interesting. I've not seen anybody have a sort of actual change of animation or anything besides just the regular sprint and stuff like that, so this was actually really cool. So really quick, let's take a look at her skills. She's actually got some pretty interesting skills. So her first skill, which is the one, if you're using, if you're playing on PC, it's her the one that's bound to your E key. So it's not your ultimate, but the other one that's a regular skill that you can actually cast, which is a taunt, which taunts nearby enemies and makes them kind of target that, which is kind of cool, almost like Amber's little doll that she throws out. But it deals hydro damage to nearby enemies if they're really close to it, and when it explodes, it deals an AOE hydro damage to everybody around it. So I don't know, it's kind of cool. Definitely nice for a caster, because obviously casters are probably going to be a little bit more squishy than regular, up in your face kind of characters. So dropping the taunt, or even dropping that and switching to a different character, so that way they're not focusing on you. You can kind of just do whatever you want while they're not focusing on the actual character that you're playing. So that's really cool. Obviously, the second thing to go over is her torrent, which is the sprint, but we've already kind of talked about that. It is really nice. It's very cool. One thing that you can actually do with it is there's almost like a passive skill that she has called a tag or something along those lines, but it basically makes it to where if you're using the torrent or sprint or whatever you want to call it, and you're gliding through the land or whatever, and an enemy locks onto you, it'll actually drop a taunt, the little E skill. It'll drop a little taunt on the ground for 2 seconds to kind of capture the enemy's attention, so that way you can get away or just keep moving in the direction that you're going or whatever. So I thought that was really cool, just to kind of keep them off of you while you're trying to maneuver through the world. And then her ultimate is actually kind of interesting because it kind of traps the enemies in an area around you, and it makes them wet, which means that they can obviously be more prone to getting attacked by lightning and stuff like that, which is really helpful. So you definitely want to partner her up with somebody like Beidou, or even maybe Fischl or something like that. That would be really helpful. But it also makes it to where once they're in that little arena area that you make, they have an omen on them, which makes it to where they take more damage, which is really cool. And after the spell, or whatever you want to call it, ends, it deals hydro damage to anyone in the area. So that's actually really cool as well. So pretty decent AOE coverage as far as her skills go, but I mean they kind of have to be pretty close to it, so you want them to be bunched up. So, obviously, as I was just saying a minute ago, Beidou is actually probably one of the best characters that I have that I've been able to pair her with, and it's mainly because when you use Beidou's ultimate, it basically makes these little, electric snake things, maneuver around your character, and it makes it to where when you attack, it deals lightning damage on the enemy, so you can actually pop her ult and then switch over to Mona and then start using her attacks on characters and stuff like that, which is really nice because not only does it do electrical damage, but it will also put her, you know, like hydro damage on the characters as well, which makes it to where they superconduct or whatever and take extra damage, which is very cool. Like, it's, you know, very nice to have that sort of like, you know, synced sort of gameplay. Like, they just mesh really well together, like those two characters at least. And very quickly, the last thing that I want to go over is her actual design. I'm actually really interested. I do like the design of her, like, clothing and stuff like that. Her hat is a little bit big for me. Personally, I'm not, like, super into the whole, like, big hats on mages and stuff like that kind of thing. But, I mean, it does kind of fit her and everything. But I really do like her, like, clothes and everything. You can see on the left, the, like, lower left side of her leg or whatever. It, like, kind of fades into, like, a purple. And, like, it's just a really neat, like, outfit for her, and I think it really fits her sort of like style or whatever. And obviously she's very thick in the back, if you know what I'm saying. So you know, very good for eye candy or whatever. So I don't know. I actually like the character a lot. I wasn't expecting to really like her a whole bunch because I wasn't really like going for her or anything like that. But after pulling her and messing around with her a little bit, I definitely think she's going to have a decent place on the team, especially because she meshes so well with Beidou, and I really like Beidou. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully, this, I don't know, somewhat, you know, gives you an introduction to the character if you don't have her, or if you do, or, you know, whatever the case may be. I just wanted to go over the character basically because I was excited that I pulled a 5-star. Anyways, that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I will see you guys in the next video.